All right, looks like we are live. Well, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Cult Film and Review After Dark. I am going to be your host, Kyle. It's nice to meet you all. Looks like we've got someone watching, although that might just be me. Oh, we got two watching now. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. Just a reminder, we are doing this every Thursday and at about 7:30 Pacific time. And just kind of an open discussion, chit chat about whatever we want. If you guys have questions, please post them in the forum there, and be happy to answer as best I can. I have not much direction today, so by all means, hit me up. Let's talk. Make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell. That way you get notified anytime we do go live. Oh shit, we got 4 people in here. What's up, everyone? All right. Well, thank you very much again for tuning in. Brought to you, of course, by Superstar Video, your source of videos in the Valley. What up? What up, Chris? Yo yo to yourself. I was working on some other like catchphrases. What were the catchphrases that I would use for Superstar Video? But they all just were. I was just stealing them from other well-established catchphrases. Yo, what up, James? With the rise of digital films, is a audio tech is more or less necessary now? With the rise of digital films, is an audio tech is more or less necessary now? Is it necessary are you asking if it's necessary still as an audio tech with the rise of digital cinema? If that's the question you're asking, then absolutely. I have been to many of short film festivals, and the thing that it's more important, honestly. So the thing that a lot of indie filmmakers tend to overlook is sound. They kind of all think like, oh, we'll just do it in post, or I can just do it myself. And like the thing that is usually lacking in short films is a good sound mix. Like, here's the thing: you could shoot a movie on a VHS tape that went through a washer machine a few times, but if the audio sounds great, then people are going to assume the visual element is a creative decision. But the flip side of it is that I've noticed is I've seen movies that are shot on RED cameras, and the audio is like echoey, and they didn't put really as much effort into it. It's like, cool, you have a great visual, but it's taking me actually out of the moment and the story of it. I've seen Chris cry over the sound of his movie being shitty in a theater. It's true. I wasn't there to see it, but yeah, sound is so incredibly overlooked. And as an audio engineer, it is a little frustrating because it doesn't take a lot of extra effort. It's more or less adopting a mentality of being conscious about it. So when you go into picking out, when you're choosing your locations, okay, like not only does it look like aesthetically pleasing to shoot a film here, is it what's the situation like sound wise? If you're doing an exterior shot, like sure, maybe you go scout the location on like a Tuesday at 10 in the morning, and obviously it's a quiet street, and the day you go to shoot is a Saturday that you can book it for, and suddenly it's completely hectic and busy, and then it's like, well, how do you compensate for that? So having a better idea and understanding of, or at least keeping the idea of sound as a level of importance in the back of your mind when you're starting the process of making a film, is going to make your movie stand out among the pack with minimal effort. Mike, are you downstairs? When did you get here? Mike? I guess he's here. Little inside joke. And I hope it never dies. Great question, though, James. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you have any other audio questions, or if you want like podcast questions about what we do and the technical side of shit of this show, by all means, throw them in the comments below, or whatever. I'll answer them. I don't care. If you're so good at sound, how come you didn't hear me calling you? Dinner is ready. I have no response to that. There's no excuse, Mike. I mean, that's honestly what it comes down to. There's just really no excuse. Anybody check out the Zombieland 2 trailer? I saw that dropped. I don't know if that dropped today, but how do you deal with me when I can't hear myself in my headphones? That's a great question, Chris. So here's a top tip for audio engineers out there. If you have talent that thinks they can't hear anything, but you know for a fact they can, you just reach over and you just touch the knob, but you don't do anything. And then you ask, is that better? 9 times out of 10, it's probably better. The best dB level for a host. Well, Cody, you want to try to record everyone at a minus 18 dB, right? That's full scale dB now. And then that gives you enough headroom so that you can compress and EQ and use a little bit of limiting in the back end. Great question. I don't know why Cult Film Review is asking questions about its own co-host. You would think that, if that was Cody, that, maybe VHS Collect would show up, every once in a while. What's your social security number? 5. It's 5. It was one of the first. You always got to get that back in, Cody. Yeah, I was watching the trailer for Zombieland 2 today, and I'm like, I don't know if you haven't seen it, go watch it, but I honestly feel like they used oh, hi Norris. The cat just showed up. I honestly feel like they used de-aging on Jesse Eisenberg's face. Am I wrong? Am I wrong in that? It doesn't look natural. It's like they're forcing him to look like he was 10 years ago. It does look cheesy as fuck. Another perfect assessment. Thank you. Deafen Instagram filter. Yeah, I'm sure in post, they applied some Instagram filters to the film. He's Benjamin Buttoning. So when he was young, he looked really old and haggard. Makes sense. If you're just joining us, which looks like we got 5 people in here, thank you very much for joining. Make sure you like and subscribe, ring the bell. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments. Let's knock some of these other guys out of here, like this Mike Salustio fella. I don't know about him. We all know he's the best Lex. Bullshit. He was not the best Lex. Tell us about what you're recording tonight. It's a piece that I wrote. That's really personal to me. It's a sonnet of sorts, if I'm being honest. Yeah. So thanks. Good question, Chris. That's rude. I'm a fan. Well, you're also wrong. So I don't know what to tell you. Let's see what's going on in cult film news. I created a list of interesting shit going on in the world of cult films. And the one that struck my eye the most is they will be showing a feature film. I think it might have been Bill Paxton's first film. It's called Taking Tiger Mountain. Since y'all in film, why Phoenix and not a more established city like New York or LA? Well, for me, it's a cost thing. Let's see. If I wanted to work, the trade-off with working in audio in LA is essentially you sweep floors and pay your dues for about $10 an hour for the first 2 to 3 years. And then if you get lucky, they let you into the recording studio. I know I sound like a broken record because most people at any at any short film event here in Phoenix are like, let's bring the films here. Let's bring filmmaking here. I mean, Arizona, if it gets its shit together in terms of like taxes and making it like giving a tax incentive for filmmakers, would be an awesome place. But that's where I live. It's what I do. Chris can answer that for himself if he would like. Brought to you by Mick Ultra, by the way. Boom. And let's see, we've been going at this for 10 minutes and already ran out of material. Oh, back to what I was talking about. Bill Paxton, Taking Tiger Mountain. Check it out. I think Vinegar Syndrome, they didn't pick it up for distribution, but they picked it up to do a restoration on it. And I think it's a black and white and mostly a silent film, but it tells the tale of a Vietnam War draft dodger and basically being hired by a group of feminists to assassinate someone. It sounds wild as fuck. It's where I am. It's what I said, Chris. Thank you for repeating it and putting it down on paper. But yeah, it's playing in Fort Worth, I think, this weekend. So if anybody is in Fort Worth, go check it out. I don't know the name of the event that it's actually playing at, because that was not in the article that I read. So I will continue to repeat it throughout your life. Yeah, you should probably work that into the best man speech. That's really, Cody? That's ridiculous. What what movie shows September 13th? Well, it's Friday the 13th. If you happen to put it into your DVD player, I guess. But if you don't want to watch a movie alone at home, why don't you head on out to Film Bar, where we will be showing The Burning. Should be fucking excited. A great event. I'm super excited about it. We're actually talking about, me and Mike have been working out a custom cocktail called The Burning to kind of commemorate that event. So keep your eyes out for that. Hopefully we'll be dropping a video of how to make The Burning as soon as we decide what goes in The Burning. And if you have any suggestions of alcohol you would put in The Burning, drop them in the live chat. And I'll disagree with you, maybe. I don't know. Souls. Yeah, the souls of our victims. That's what's going in it. Did anybody check out oh yeah, that's a good question. So we dropped the black hole today. Who watched it? What is the Plex server and why has it not been shared with the world? So good question, James. And I'm glad you're paying attention on the show. So the Plex server is, if you Google it's plex.tv, and it's literally you get a computer and you can load up, like, if you have a bunch of DVDs and Blu-rays you want to share with your friends, you can essentially create your own private Netflix using your content. So I got a server from work, and my brother Ryan, who obsessively collects films, started just ripping all of his movies to an external drive that I connected to it. So we essentially, from anywhere, as long as Mike pays his internet bill, we can watch these movies anywhere we want. And they've got mobile streaming. They got apps for your phones, Apple TV, Roku, whatever. Yeah, look it up. It's Plex.tv. And there's a lot of awesome articles out there on how to put together a Plex server. You don't need a lot. You can honestly probably pull it off with, if it's just going to be you and like a friend, like sharing movies like that, you can pull it off with a pretty shitty computer. But you want to go to like a server level if you're going to have like what we have, which is like 4 or 5 or 6 guys pulling streaming off of it. So great question. James is killing it. You know what? That's the best guest on the YouTube chat. Thank you. James, did you listen to the Black Hole episode today? That episode was a shit show. That's what I'll say. Recording was an absolute disaster. So, and I edited it, but I don't hear it in real time. But I'm curious how the final product came out. All right. Let's see what else. Let's go back to Superstar Video because it's something that I think is really, really close to the podcast in my heart. They've got 14 Valley locations and growing. Superstar Video, your place to go to be with the stars on video. That's not true. I think they have one location. Cody, how many locations? They just got one? Anyhow, whatever. Let's talk about the black hole. Even though I think that was Mike's pick, that was a fan pick actually. Who has anyone seen the black hole before? That's not Chris or Mike or Cody. Guess I'm here to entertain you people, but no one wants to talk anymore. We've all ran out of great questions. I understand. Better gang conflict in film. Ravens versus Spiders, Warriors versus Rogues, Rifts, Baseball Furies, or Dragon Sound versus Ninja Bikers. Whew, shit. That's a great question from James here. I'm going to knock Ravens versus Spiders off the list right off the bat just because I feel like that conflict only lasted for the first 15 minutes of the film, and then they technically merged together into one super gang. My gut tells me Warriors versus Baseball Furies. But Dragon Sound versus Ninja Bikers there's so much buildup to that, and there's so much ridiculousness about these ninja bikers because when they're dressed as ninjas, they're fit as fuck. Like, they're ripped. But when they're in biker gear, they look like your quintessential biker gang. None of them could probably do a sweet roundhouse kick. So it's even more hilarious when the biker gang shows up and then they're all ninjas suddenly. So I'm going to give it to Dragon Sound versus Ninja Bikers. Clearly, it's Shark versus Jets. I mean, yeah. I mean, you can't top the snapping. You know what I mean? That snapping just gets you ready to take blood, honestly. Once again, guys, we are doing this every Thursday at 7:30 Pacific time. I think we're going to try. There's murmurings in the group. There's murmurings, but I think we're going to try to do a Google Hangouts here in the next couple of weeks. So you get all four of us on, and you guys can join in. And who knows? Maybe we'll chat about a film we recently reviewed, or maybe we'll chat about a film that we haven't reviewed. But yeah, keep your eyes out for that. I'm kind of excited for that idea for sure, and get you guys kind of weighing in on the conversation as we go. Mike says it is happening. Confirmed. You heard it here first, folks. It's confirmed. This is so weird. Like I feel like I talk to myself all the time, but I'm having such trouble right now. Like, constantly talk to myself, and I answer back. It's the strangest thing. Oh, let's talk about what movie we're doing next week. Oh, shit. As soon as I get on topic, James fucking drops a question bomb here. Hypothetical final fight. Bloodsport, Ray Jackson versus Last Dragon versus Jason with help from Ghost Bruce Lee. Oh, what kind of shit is that? I mean, it's clearly going to be Jason with Ghost Bruce Lee. Jason doesn't even need Ghost Bruce Lee. He's literally a tank. Like, Ray Jackson would probably break his fucking shin if he tried to kick Jason, you know? Especially if we're talking about Jason, if we're talking about Space Jason with that chrome mask. No contest. Ghost Bruce Lee would probably help, but by the time he was ready to go, the other two would just be decapitated. That makes me think of Freddy versus Jason. I feel like that was a pretty good movie. But I haven't seen it in 10 years, though. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys remember that movie being good? I just remember the part where Freddy gets pulled into the real world and heavy metal guitars start playing. It was pretty epic as a young horror film fan. Who won in Freddy vs. Jason? The humans did, actually. Right? The fans. So true. It's so true. It makes me sad that the rumored Freddy versus Jason versus Ash script never came to be. That would have been just an orgasm of cinema. So is it next Thursday? No, next. So 2 weeks from now, my pick is next, and I just want to let you guys know that Battle Royale is coming up. So I hope you're into hearing about that movie and hearing about how the Hunger Games ripped that shit off, because that's what we get into. But tonight we're recording But I'm a Cheerleader. It was Cody's pick. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to save all of my opinions for the show. It's weird. I can tell there's a delay because I'll say something and then I'll just hear a bunch of loud uproar from the downstairs area. Mount Rushmore of cult characters. Mount Rushmore of cult characters. Jack Burton. If I could meet any of them, I feel like I would have a beer with Jack Burton and be like, that'd be a cool fucking experience. But yeah, that goes back to childhood, though. We're not laughing at you. We're very funny to ourselves. That's weird because I've been doing a podcast with you guys for 4 years and I never thought that. Strange. Remember, if you think you're funny on the show, I'm the one that edits it. So, you want those jokes to land a little better? Then you better keep me in your court. Where are we at here? We're at 23 minutes in. And it's been a wild ride. James, what is your Mount Rushmore of cult characters? I feel like you're asking all the questions and I'm not asking you enough. What is your ideal cult film? Are you more horror film? Are you more sci-fi? What would I tell John Carpenter? Easy answer. Why the fuck didn't you smile when I got a photo with you? I met him. Me and my brother drove out to Vegas to see him on this last tour where he was doing all the themes, and fucking amazing show. But we definitely paid extra for the meet and greet, get the photo. We'll post it on our Instagram here probably, so you can see it. But yeah, I got a photo with him. He looks so upset to be there. And I was like, shit, what is something I said or did? And then our friend Monty, he sent me his photo when he got a picture with him, and he's making the same face, same dead eyes and everything. That's his metal face. No, his metal face, he looks like an old grandpa when he's playing on stage. His moves are so rigid and he's just that's John Carpenter rocking out. But I love his films and I love his music, so whatever. Not a personable guy after all of these years in the film industry, in the Hollywood system. Aaron says horror, definitely. Aaron, what's your favorite horror movie? I'm going to put you on the spot now. And have we covered it on the show? Follow-up question. Let me know in the comments below, guys. What is your favorite horror movie? And I will disagree, maybe. What is my favorite horror film? Damn. I kind of see, there's a lot of horror films that I watch and I think, damn, this is a great movie. But there's it's the same thing with cult films. Like nothing competes with like your childhood. Hackers is my favorite. Hackers is your favorite cult movie? James is all right in my book. Chris probably won't be a fan. I think I come back to Dawn of the Dead, the original one. There was something about that movie. I think there was like so much talk about that movie, and it took so much effort to obtain a copy of Night of the Living Dead that when I found out there was a sequel, like I personally elevated it to a level, and then when I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I was hoping it would be. Fuck yeah, the net. Sorry, James, I had to prove that one. Yeah, if you guys want to ask me about, Gibsons and the best way to hack into a Gibson, I work in network security. You could say that I'm the plague of reality. If you're between 38 and 42 years old, you love hackers. That movie is. I just still to this day don't understand what the fuck was the point of his like single eye. It was like a tiger red eye game system he had on his face when he was hacking in. Like, what computer has its own like little VR system for file management? I'm younger than you, Chris, and I love it. What's your problem? So you skateboard next. I mean, every chance I get. How do you think I get to Mike's house every Thursday to record? I skateboard alongside of a black limo across multiple lanes of traffic, but I think it's the only way to travel. I also tend to only write my viruses with famous painters like Da Vinci, Michelangelo. Yeah. I had a running joke, and I think I talked about this on the show, and I still want to do it. That Chris hated this movie so much, I wanted to hide copies of the movie Hackers in every single crevice of his house. And now that he's recently put his house on the market, he's going to be moving. I'm trying to convince him to let me hide copies for the next people to move in, and just so they would find them throughout their first year of living there and see if they find them all. But yeah, it is surprisingly difficult to actually find copies of Hackers. Like I've gone to like Goodwills and anywhere you can think to find like old VHS tapes, and I cannot find any copies of Hackers. There was one out there, and I convinced Chris's girlfriend to buy it for him because I told her it was his favorite movie. So, and guys, well, we're coming up on our last minute here. Thank you very much for joining in. Again, we do this every Thursday, 7:30 Pacific time. I don't know who's going to be on next week, but we'll find out. Just remember, what is it? September 13th? Is that right? Or August 13th? Oh, it's September 13th. We're going to be at Film Bar showing The Burning, so please tune in for that. Well, tune in. Buy a ticket and show up if you're in the Valley is probably more accurate. But again, tune in every Thursday for new episodes from us. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell on YouTube so that you get notified whenever we do go live. And we have time for one more question. Clown Trolls just showed up. What up, Clown Trolls? Is that like a combination of killer clowns and trolls? Or are you just a troll that's a clown? Or a clown that's a troll? All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you, everyone, for coming out and checking it out. See you later.